All right, everyone, we start the day with a very funny story. Apparently, John McCain, with his friends and relatives, it looks like he's, getting towards the end there, I suppose. Sort of having the last hurrah, the last drunken hangout where they watch war footage of little children being blown apart. So I imagine that's what he and Dick Cheney get up to on a daily basis. Apparently, he doesn't want Trump to come to his funeral. He wants Pence to come instead. So basically, John McCain is still bitter. And, while calling Donald Trump childish or immature, he doesn't know what he's doing, John McCain says this sort of bullshit. Okay, yeah, that's really, really mature, John. Meanwhile, in other news, Trump's approval is now edging up towards that sweet spot that I talked about little over a week ago, which is 45%. It's perilously close to the very, very dangerous zone for the Democrats. So John McCain may have chosen the perfect time to alienate himself from someone who's really going to rise up, I think, further, totally supplant the neocon arm of the GOP. It's an era of good feelings sort of feeling right now, I think, for a lot of those who stuck it out with Trump and realized the Mueller probe was a sham and that it's just part of his persona. Part of his persona, the way he governs, is the way he runs a boardroom. He wants to be chaotic and unpredictable. That doesn't mean he's less effective. It's done wonders for Asian politics. I think that's why John McCain doesn't want him at his funeral. I think John McCain has several problems with Trump. Number one, John McCain is a warmonger. He likes war, he likes killing, he likes violence and fanaticism. His friends are literally Islamic jihadists in many cases. He hangs out with these people. He didn't learn his lesson from being in a prison camp, I guess, when he was shot down over Vietnam. He didn't learn his fucking lesson. Now he wants other young men to have to get tortured because he's bitter. And that's the fundamental central part of his character I think we need to focus on. John McCain is a bitter and vile, despicable human being. He never should have been applauded and held up on a pedestal by the Republicans. I can remember he's running against Obama. Oh, but he's a war hero. Obama never went to war. Yeah, he was in war. And he didn't learn his fucking lesson. If a person has gone off to war and been tortured and they're still a war hawk, they're dumb. They're despicable. They want others to have to go through what they go through. And by the way, I don't pull any punches. It's like when John McCain was diagnosed with cancer. And I said, haha, now he's got brain cancer. Maybe he'll actually spawn some intelligence. The tumor will have an IQ higher than the rest of him. People are like, oh, don't say that. Come on, the man is dying. He's old. He's a has-been, basically. He's old and dying, and you should have a little bit of respect. He's a warrior. No, he's not a war hero. He got tortured for a while. What else did he do? What, did he manage to blow up some Viet Cong compound that I'm not seeing? Did he go on was it a secret mission? He managed to deliver serum to a bunch of starving little orphans? No, he didn't. He just fucking was imprisoned in Vietnam. So, what, that makes his politics better? That makes his war hawking more acceptable? That's one of the main reasons I think he doesn't like Trump. Trump appears to genuinely be averse to the world police thing. I genuinely think that he's still talking about wanting to withdraw early from Syria. I hope he does quicker rather than more slowly. On Korea, he's done what a President McCain would never do. President McCain would have thought about targeted strikes in a more serious fashion. He wouldn't have just talked about it on Twitter and then basically forgotten about it because it's part of his strategy. Which, by the way, that's what it appears to be. Trump was basically going unhinged on Twitter rants to scare North Korea's dictatorship. It actually worked. John McCain, I think, also doesn't like Trump because Trump won. John McCain lost. He wanted to be president of the United States. Now he has to be still Senator McCain, who lost. He didn't end up, he gets nominated. He makes a shitty VP choice. I'm not exactly sure even still why he chose Sarah Palin. It kind of backfired. I think with a better Veep slot, he may have done more well against Obama. I think Obama wouldn't have steamrolled him out of existence if he had chosen someone who was sane as a running mate, okay? He looks at Trump and he sees Trump says weird shit, he does weird shit, and yet he still wins. Meanwhile, I play nice. I'm part of the GOP establishment. At the time, McCain was literally a Bushite normie, and he still loses. He feels so schlonged. He feels like Hillary Clinton feels. That's the reason so John McCain's going to pull a Hillary Clinton, only maybe with a little more finesse. He won't let the issue go. Here we are more than a year on, and he's still whining about not liking Trump. What has Trump done lately to piss John McCain off? The only thing I can think of is solving the Korean conflict without using a bunch of explosives. That's really the only thing I can think of. John McCain is a desperately bitter old man, and he's going to keep being bitter, and he's going to die, and I'm sure all of the other warmongers will show up and talk about what a wonderful guy he was. At the end, at the 11th hour, even Trump will come out and say, oh, my condolences to his family. Basically, fuck you, I'm not going to your funeral. By the way, why would Trump want to go? What did John McCain do for him except for oppose him and talk about how he might be nuts? And talk about, oh, it might be a problem if he tries to fire Mueller. Like he was ever going to do that anyway. Oh, he might fire Rosenstein. He disrespected the FBI. The same FBI that does provably contain, according to what Congress is telling us, agents that were blatantly biased against Trump. The same intel community that appears to have had connections with the Steele dossier and Fusion GPS through the wife of the person running the show over there anyway. Some CIA agent. A lot of shoddy, shifty shit is going on. Trump managed to bamboozle the establishment, and John McCain's mad because he wishes he had thought of it. He wishes that he could have become the president of the United States, only he would have started a few more wars. It would have been Bush 2.0. Not that Obama in many ways wasn't, but as far as land invasion, a little bit less. A few less body bags coming back here, but just as many body bags in the deserts, with other people's citizens dying, which, I wasn't a fan of, but, fewer coming back here. It was less visible. It was more of a covert war. Trump, by the way, continuing this. I wish he would ease up even further on it. I'm more of an isolationist, yes. Trump, I don't believe so, but he's not a proxy war maniac. John McCain is. John McCain is just a jingoist. He's like, oh, I'm going to throw more money to the military because I'm going to start 3 or 4 conflicts. And they're going to be limitless, too. It's like we're in a world war right now where we conduct combat operations literally anywhere we happen to fucking want to. Nobody even thinks of it as a war for some reason. People have gone nuts. John McCain, though, has been nuts for years. He's always been that. Like, remember when he was on the campaign trail, 2008. One of the leading scandals of the day was when he started singing Bomb, Bomb, Bomb Iran. You remember that little ditty and how well that served him? Yeah, that wasn't a good idea, and yet he'd rather be bitter at Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, he hasn't started World War III, didn't start a depression. All he did was tell McCain to fuck off because he kept trying to start wars. He said it on Twitter. And Lindsey Graham, of course, who Lindsey Graham is not like John McCain. In all honesty, one thing you can say about McCain is he has fortitude. He's able to persevere a little bit more and stick to his opinions. Now, those opinions are usually shitty, but he'll stick to them. Lindsey Graham just waffles around. He's like a limp noodle, in the most literal sense. I think that we may speculate. He should be joining the log cabin Republicans, but come on. Lindsey Graham very quickly realized Trump wasn't going to get impeached, wasn't going to start a depression and get kicked out of office, and he decided to play nice with him. John McCain, though, he just sits there. He doesn't even clap when Trump's giving the State of the Union. He just sits there and makes an angry face. He's like, oh man, I wish I was up on that podium talking about how we needed to invade another country. That's his problem. So he wants Pence at his funeral. Also, Pence is more of an evangelocon too. I can imagine he would get along more with the Pence. Pence is the insurance that Trump has anyway against getting impeached because Pence wouldn't be capable of leading the country. Take one look at the man's caricature. He'd be very good leading a megachurch congregation, not so much leading an army. That's about all. Peace out.